No one recognized him. Not the guards, not the prisoners, not even the warden. When Burkina Faso's interim leader, Ibrahim Traoré, entered Koka prison as an ordinary inmate, what he would encounter would deeply shake him. 6 days later, the entire prison system would be in turmoil. Koka, located in the eastern part of Ouagadougou, surrounded by gray concrete walls and barbed wire, was the most feared prison in the country. Once you entered, the rule of law and hope no longer mattered. One Sunday morning, the heavy iron doors opened. A new prisoner was arriving. His name was Ordinary, Moussa Dio, 38 years old, caught in a minor robbery attempt. There was nothing unusual about his documents, but there was something that the documents didn't reveal. This man was actually the most powerful person in Burkina Faso. President Ibrahim Traoré. "Move, quickly!" shouted the guard at the door. Traoré didn't respond. His face bore a few days' worth of stubble. His hair was messy. He wore an old shirt and torn pants. Neither his posture nor his gaze revealed who he was. The reason for his entry was simple. For the past 3 months, the reports coming from the prison had been the same. Everything is fine. No issues. Conditions are improving. But the anonymous letters on Traoré's desk told a very different story. Torture, hunger, missing prisoners, mysterious deaths. The only way to uncover the truth was to get inside. The first hours were ordinary. Dirty clothes, empty cells, and shouting guards. He was sent to Block C7, the most feared section. He sat on the bed under the bunk. The sheets were stained, the blanket thin, and the pillow hard as a rock. The other prisoners eyed him suspiciously. "Hey, you're new," said a large man from the opposite bunk. "What brought you here?" "A shop robbery," Traoré replied calmly. "It was a failed attempt." He smiled faintly. "I didn't even have a weapon." "Bad luck," the man said. His name was Bakari, and he was the boss of Block C7. He decided who would live and who would die in the cell. "What's your story?" Traoré asked. Bakari chuckled bitterly. "I'm not an ordinary prisoner. I've been here for 15 years. Murder, theft, everything. But my real crime was getting caught." "What's life like here?" Traoré asked curiously. Bakari's smile disappeared. "Life? There's no life here. Only waiting. Waiting for death." As night fell, a muffled groan echoed. Silent, yet filled with pain. Traoré looked carefully. In the corner, a young man lay, nearly a skeleton. His body shook. Sweat poured from his forehead. "What happened to him?" Traoré whispered. "Gaspard," said an older prisoner sadly. 2 weeks ago, the guards beat him. His ribs were broken. No one cared. Now the infection spread. "No doctor?" Traoré asked. The prisoners laughed mockingly. "Doctor," said the old man. "If you get sick, either you heal or you die." The next morning, the first shock occurred. Before the cell doors opened, the guards came. They approached Gaspard's bed. The young man was no longer moving. "One less," said Chief Guard Bolat indifferently. "Take him away." They dragged the body like a sack. Anger boiled inside Traoré, but his face remained stoic. Any prisoner who reacted would immediately be punished. "You," Bolat said, looking at Traoré, "you'll work in the kitchen today." The prison kitchen was dark and hopeless. Rotten vegetables, rusty pots, silent prisoners. Traoré spent hours chopping spoiled vegetables. His eyes observed every detail. He turned to the old prisoner next to him. "These vegetables are rotten," he said. "This is what's being used to make the food?" The man laughed bitterly. "These aren't ours. Ours are in that pot over there. We eat gruel." Traoré turned his head. The other pot contained better ingredients. "What's that?" he asked. "That's the guards' food," the man replied. "They eat meat. We eat bones. They get bread. We get mold." That night, Bakari was waiting for him in the cell. "Come," he said. "I have something to tell you." They stepped into the corridor. Bakari's eyes were filled with tears. "At the end of the corridor, there's a room," he said. "Anyone who goes in there either doesn't come back or comes out completely different." Traoré listened closely. "There's a hidden system here. Food, medicine, surviving. all done through bribes. If you don't have money and no support from your family, God help you. How long has it been like this? Traoré asked. It's always been like this. But since the warden Kabore arrived last year, it's gotten worse. On the third day, another young prisoner died. But this time, the cause wasn't illness. He had been taken to the special room and tortured to death. Why? Traoré whispered. His family didn't pay, Bakari said. That room has electrical devices. The screams you hear at night are real. Traoré's stomach churned. His suspicions had been confirmed. On the fourth day, it was his turn. 2 guards grabbed him and dragged him to the special room. A kick knocked the wind out of him. The warden wants to see you, one of them said. The room was horrific. Bloody walls, electric torture devices, and a metal chair in the center. Warden Kabore entered. He was large, well-dressed, but with cruel eyes. He was examining Traoré's fake file. Musa Dio, he said. Whoever you are. You've been asking too many questions. I'm just trying to survive, Traoré said. Kabore smiled. Surviving? That comes at a high price here. Is your family rich? Traoré didn't answer. This system works like this, Kabore said. Either you pay or you suffer. How much? Traoré asked. For people like you, 500,000 francs. CFA Traoré took a deep breath. Then I have an offer for you, he said. Kabore raised an eyebrow. I'm listening. Traoré pulled a small device from his pocket. It was the transmitter given to him by the Secret Service. He activated it with a single press. What are you doing? Kabore asked. I'm calling for help, Traoré said. And believe me, they're very close. When the door opened, it wasn't guards who entered, but fully equipped special forces, masked and armed. Kabore stepped back. What is this? He shouted. Traoré stood up. His posture had changed. He was no longer a prisoner. He was a leader. I am Ibrahim Traoré, he said calmly. And you are the one under arrest? Kabore's face turned pale. His knees buckled. Impossible, he whispered. I now run the government, Traoré said, and my order is justice. Helicopter noises could be heard outside. The prison was surrounded. The door to Block C7 opened. The prisoners were in shock. Traoré entered with the soldiers. He no longer hid his identity. Bakari, he said. It was all true, and now it's time for justice. He inspected every corner of the prison. Torture rooms, starving prisoners, disgraceful conditions. He documented everything. Saturday, everyone in the yard, he ordered. Prisoners, guards, everyone. One agent asked, will there be punishment? No, Traoré said. Not revenge. Justice. On Saturday morning, the sun illuminated the yard. On one side, the battered prisoners. On the other, the terrified guards. Traoré, in simple clothes, stood in the middle. Today, Burkina Faso will make a choice, he said. Will we stand by and watch oppression, or will we stand for justice? There was silence. The prisoners looked on with hope. Some guards lowered their heads. Today, Coca will close, Traoré said. This shame will be torn down. In its place, a center for education and healing will be built. Warden Kabore will be tried. True justice will prevail. One guard cried. Another knelt. All prisoners will undergo health checks, Traoré said. The hungry will be fed. Cases will be reconsidered. Is this real? Bakari whispered. It's real, Traoré said, because Burkina Faso will no longer turn a blind eye. Weeks later, the old Coca was unrecognizable. The walls were torn down, the barbed wire removed. In its place, an open campus had been established. The torture room had been turned into a library. The kitchen had become a soup kitchen. The C7 prisoners had been gathered. Bakari was now a health worker. The president is coming, he said excitedly. We will thank him. When Traoré arrived, he was in simple clothes. But now he didn't hide. He was a leader of the people. A prison, he said, is a reflection of a nation. Today, in this reflection, we see not shame, but honor. As he shook hands with the former prisoners, a pair of eyes were filled with tears. It was Gaspar. He had been treated and had recovered. Mr. President, he said,